Today we have our roster update predictions for the update coming on Friday, July 30th, this upcoming Friday. Now, I have a little bit of guys, but not as many as I would have liked for my predictions this week. So what I need y'all to do is in the comment section below, okay, let myself and others know who they should be investing in, right? Who's going to go from silver to gold, gold to diamond. Let me know your predictions in the comment section. Feel free to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We're going to start with the starting pitchers, make our way through the position players. Just because I do not include somebody in this video does not mean that they are not deserving of an upgrade, and just because I do include somebody does not mean that they're guaranteed an upgrade on Friday. So we're starting with the pitchers. My first and only starting pitcher prediction for the week is going to be Freddie Peralta, and for me it's a toss-up. I could see him going diamond, but if it doesn't happen I wouldn't be surprised, but I feel like he is deserving of it. One thing to keep in mind is his hits per nine, if I'm not mistaken, is leading the entire MLB. I know it leads at least the National League, but I'm pretty sure it's leading the entire MLB. So I feel like even though it's already pretty high in game at 106, I feel like leading the entire league is deserving of at least a small little bit of a boost. His home runs per nine in real life is 0.9, which isn't too amazing, but it's not that bad. I could see a little boost to that, but probably nothing. 4.1 walks per 9 innings, that's probably going to stay around where it is. And then 12.4 strikeouts per 9 innings, I could see that going up maybe 1, 2, 3 points for a little upgrade. So I feel like you could boost his hits per nine pretty easily up to like 109, 110 even, and then maybe the strikeouts per nine a little bit, and I feel like that should be enough to push him over to diamond. However, if it doesn't happen, I wouldn't really be super surprised either. You guys are gonna notice probably a decent amount of Cardinals here in this video. I just feel like there's some dudes on the Cardinals that have been playing well and deserve at least a little bit of an upgrade. I feel like Giovanni Gallegos on the Cardinals, I feel like he's got a shot to go diamond this week. His hits per nine already really high. I don't see that getting upgraded at all. But I can't talk today, man. Looking at his strikeouts per nine, there we go. Looking at his strikeouts per nine, 77 for the attribute, but 10.6 on the season. I feel like that could see a small boost, maybe into the 80s. Walks per nine, 78 in game, 1.9 in real life. That's probably decent where it's at. But then the home runs per 9 innings being at 0.7. Okay, I feel like that could go up a little bit as well. So for me, they could boost his strikeouts per nine, especially get that up into the 80s, and then home runs per nine by a few points. I feel like those small little boosts should be enough to get him to a diamond, right? We can see a +8 to both the hits per nine and the strikeouts per nine gets him to an 87. So if they boost him like 4 or 5 to that strikeouts per nine alone, I feel like that could probably get him up to an 85. But same thing with Freddie Peralta. If it doesn't happen, I wouldn't be that surprised. I just feel like he's deserving of a diamond, but I'm also probably biased as a Cardinals fan. Next up, another Cardinal, not the last one in the video, by the way. We got Paul Goldschmidt at first base. I don't see him getting a huge boost, but I do personally see him. I would be a little bit surprised if it didn't happen. I do see him go into a gold. He was starting to pick it up after a slow start to the season before the All-Star break, and then coming out of the All-Star break, he's continued to hit, been hitting some homers, been hitting for a decent average as well. So I feel like they could pretty easily boost him just all across the board with contact and power, and pretty easily get him back up to a gold. Taking a look at specific numbers on the season, contact versus lefties, his average versus them 250, so maybe that goes down a little bit, but then average versus righties 279. I think those need to be balanced down a little bit more, and I feel like they usually do boosts more than they do decreases when it comes to stuff like that. And then for power, he's slugging 498 versus righties and then 294 versus lefties on the season. That's his season numbers. But in July, okay, let's just say the last 30 days, 333 average, 604 slugging, 1017 OPS. I feel like he's just been really solid after a slow start to the season for the past month or so, and I would be a little bit surprised if they don't boost him back up to a gold in this roster update. Next up is Pete Alonso, and he's somebody I see people talking about. He could go diamond. I don't think it will happen. That's one of the reasons I'm including him in this video, is I personally don't see it happening. Some of y'all might let me know if you do see it happening down in the comment section. But I feel like his power numbers are already pretty high. Last 30 days, 643 slugging, which is really solid with a 296 average. On the season, slugging 621 versus lefties and then 466 versus righties. And to me, I feel like his power numbers are kind of solid where he's at. He has picked it up though. a little bit after the All-Star break. And on the season, average versus lefties and righties, pretty much the same. So for me, where I could see him going diamond is if they really boost up that contact versus lefties and get it similar to the contact versus righties. I don't see them adjusting his power attributes too much. I don't see a decrease or an increase for either of them. And then same thing with contact versus righties. But I do think that his contact versus lefties needs a boost to at least 60. But to me, I feel like it would be solid if it got to 65, 66, maybe even 67, right around where contact versus righties is. The only thing for me keeping it a little bit lower is that versus lefties is obviously a smaller sample size. So I think he will get a boost to his contact versus lefties this week. I just don't know if it would be enough to get him up to a diamond. If it happens, that's awesome. I just feel like I wouldn't put my stubs into him personally. Next up is Chris Taylor, and he's interesting for me because I could see him going gold, but I could also see him staying a high silver, 78, maybe a 79. And for me, it really depends on what MLB The Show actually does with his attributes come Friday, okay? So on the season, he's slugging 614 versus lefties and then 415 versus righties. So to me, those power numbers are looking pretty solid where they're at. But for me, here's where it gets interesting. Looking at his average on the season. Versus righties, it's 258. Versus lefties, it's 327. So there's already a pretty big differential in there. But I feel like a 327 average deserves higher than 80 contact. So for me, I could see a boost of that contact versus lefties. But I don't know if 258 is enough to keep that versus righties at a 64. So I feel like he's deserving of that contact boost versus lefties. Again, 614 slugging, so maybe a power boost as well. But then again, I feel like he's just been struggling a bit versus righties on the season, which might get decreased some in the updates. So I just am really curious to see, okay, if they're going to boost some of his lefty stats, his attributes, what will they do to his righty ones? Will they keep him the same? Would they boost him? Would they decrease him? I'm really interested to see what would actually happen, and if he does go gold, I could see it happening. Next up, we have Brandon Lowe. Is it Lowe or Lowe for him? I feel like it's Nate Lowe and Brandon Lowe. I'm not sure, though. I still can pronounce the names. And he's a guy for me where I see people talking about him, but I personally don't see him going gold. And my reasoning is because on the season, versus lefties, he's hitting 141, and then versus righties, 252, slugging 313 versus lefties, and 528 versus righties. So I feel like slugging versus lefties, power probably needs a decrease there. Righties, to me, it seems like it's good where it's at. Maybe even could see a decrease low-key. And then contact versus righties, probably good. Contact versus lefties, probably good, man, for a 141 average on the season. Now, I will say, what people are saying is he's had a much better July compared to the rest of the season. And for me, I would just have to see how good. I wasn't able to exactly find the numbers specifically for versus righties and lefties for the last 30 days. I forgot where I found that in the past. So if anyone's watching right now and knows where I can see that, please let me know, because I would like to find that for the last 30 days, seeing how he did versus righties, versus lefties and everything. But for me, just looking at the season numbers, even looking at the July numbers, 278 average, 630 slugging, I feel like everything seems like it's probably solid where it's at, unless he really did go versus lefties in the past month, way better than he did on the season. For me, everything seems like it's probably decent where it's at. I don't really see him going gold, but again, I could be wrong. For me, Bichette is somebody who is on diamond watch. If he keeps playing at the rate that he's playing at, playing how he is, doing how he is, I could easily see him going diamond. I just don't know if I see it this week. On the season, 355 average versus lefties, 275 versus righties. Bam. Contact seems solid. Maybe a small boost to righties is necessary. Slugging 548 versus lefties, 457 versus righties. So maybe boost the power up on both sides a little bit, specifically righties a little bit, like 69 or something. Now, if we take a look at his July, though, July 327 average, last 30 days 345 average, 488 slugging, 884 OPS. So I feel like the way he's playing, he could probably get upgraded. I just don't know if they would do it right now to a diamond. And again, I could be wrong. It could happen. I just try to be cautious sometimes. You know, I try to be a little bit cautious. If it happens, I don't think I would be super surprised. But for me, I've been looking at the overall season numbers. I feel like maybe I should start looking at splits more recently, you know, like the last 30 days, stuff like that. But just on the season, it seems like everything's kind of chilling where it's at, but maybe small boosts here and there. And I just don't know if that would be enough to actually bump it up to a diamond. I don't mean to keep doing this to y'all, but I just see people talking in my YouTube comments, Twitter, I've been seeing it and stuff like that, where people are like, hey, do you think this guy's gonna go diamond, stuff like that. And Teoscar has been somebody that I've been seeing people talk about pretty much all year as a potential diamond candidate, having him on Diamond Watch and everything. And for me, I do think it could happen, but I do not think it will happen this week. That's why I'm including him, just because I've been seeing other people talking about him, asking me about him, and I figure, hey, if this guy's getting a lot of talk, I should probably cover it, get my own thoughts on it. So hopefully you guys care about what I have to say. If not, that's okay too. I'm just throwing him in here because I personally don't see him going diamond. The thing is, he's an 84. It will not take much to push him to a diamond. That's why a lot of these guys, I won't be surprised if it does happen, because it really does not take that much to push him to that diamond level. There's not a big difference between even like 82, 83, but especially an 84 and that 85 diamond. There's not a lot of difference. But on the season, 352 average versus lefties, 280 versus righties, and then 718 slugging versus lefties, 436 versus righties. So just based on those, kind of looking at it initially, everything seems solid to me where it's at. Maybe boost the power versus lefties a little bit. Righties, it seems good. Average versus lefties, I think you can honestly boost that contact up. So if they do boost that contact versus lefties, maybe even the power versus lefties, I could see him going diamond. I just don't know how much it takes to go diamond, but again, it does not take that much to actually get him that upgrade. Last 30 days though, 284 average, 531 slugging. It seems like to me those numbers are kind of keeping him where he's at, but again, if he does go diamond, I want to be super surprised. I personally just don't see it happening. Next up is Harrison Bader. For me, not going diamond this week. Why am I throwing him in the video? I'm a biased Cardinals fan, number one, and then number two, he's on Diamond Watch for me for the near future. He has been red hot over the past month or so, been killing it in July. On the season, 250 average versus lefties, 279 versus righties. However, 625 slugging versus lefties, not too bad, and then 459 versus righties. So that seems like he's probably solid where he's at based on those season numbers. But if we take a look at the last 30 days, that's a 338 average in total with 554 slugging and 948 OPS. In July, that's pretty much his exact numbers, actually. 338 average, 554 slugging, because he was injured for a bit. That's why. So I feel like if Harrison Bader keeps playing like that, he'll go diamond, no problem. He's got the diamond defense. Now, in real life, he's actually hitting, which is what he needs upgraded in MLB The Show to get upgraded to a diamond. So if he keeps hitting how he is, if he has a really good August, boom, diamond by the end of August. However, he's been streaky. I feel like his whole career, he'll go through a stretch of a few weeks where it's like, oh my God, is he actually going to start hitting? And then he just falls off again. So he's somebody to look out for, keep an eye on, maybe invest early in him, right? You can see you could pick him up for 1,000 stubs. If you were to buy him for 1,000 stubs and he goes diamond, that's a 4,000 stub profit per card. However, it's probably going to take a while and some consistency from him before he would even get close to a diamond. So you would definitely be playing a waiting game and a long one, possibly at that. That's going to be it for my roster update predictions for this week. Again, I know I didn't include a lot of people, so I'm hoping for y'all to help each other out down in the comment section. Maybe be like, hey, I think this guy's going diamond. I think this dude's going gold. Y'all should invest in him. He's a sleeper pick, stuff like that. Feel free to leave it in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, social medias, all that good stuff. I don't know if we're having a double upload today. If we don't, we should either tomorrow or the next day start bringing some double uploads back. I got to get a Jorge Posada gameplay, Pablo Sandoval gameplay. There's some team builds I want to do. Battle Royale challenge drafts I want to do. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, as well as my 5th inning balls prediction. So we got stuff coming. Stay tuned. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out.